Welcome back to the Coffee and Crimes with Maggie May. I am so excited you guys are all here. I have a couple things to cover before we get started with this episode, so I'm just going to cover them really quickly. So to start off, super exciting news, I am officially sponsored by W Energy. They have some amazing products. I am going to link my discount code in the comments for this episode, but I will also put it on the screen as well so you guys can use my discount code and get some money off. I'm super excited about that. I'm very, very grateful for that. So to tie in with that, if anybody doesn't know me personally and you guys are new, I am super big into the Western industry. My husband is. I grew up in the Western industry. My husband did as well. Recently, we had a really tragic loss in the rodeo community. A little girl named Oakland Ray, based out of Texas, she was tragically killed in an accident a few days ago. And I got in touch with her mother and wanted to offer my support and my platform to kind of raise awareness and raise some money for them. So I am going to set up a fundraiser for them. She had asked that I stay away from GoFundMe's, which I completely respected. So I will set up a fundraiser for her. But to tie back into that, they have a merch line going around for Little Oakland, and it says "Be the Light." So I am going to get some of their products and some of their merch, and I'm going to do a giveaway on my social media. I will tie into that a little bit more and tell you what the requirements would be to get into the drawing for that. But I just thought that that was a good way to kind of share her story with everybody and then kind of help raise some funds for her family as well as they go through this difficult time. I could not imagine losing my 3-year-old daughter. That's insane. So just big prayers to them. Big prayers to them. And just keep them in your thoughts and your prayers as well. They need them right now and they need that comfort. So there's that. So I will be doing a giveaway with some of their merch as well as some of the W Energy that I am getting. It'll be like a combined kind of giveaway. So I'm super excited about that. It'll be my first giveaway and I will list the instructions as far as getting entered into the giveaway probably on my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Threads, and then I can make a video on TikTok as well. So the third thing I wanted to talk about was if you guys are on Threads and follow me on Threads at all, there's a lot going on about me right now. I have had some backlash because I had said something that I supported ICE, and that got a lot of hate. And a lot of the hate came from Trump, and not from Trump, but me supporting Trump. And then I, of course, got accused of supporting pedophiles, and then I was a pedophile myself. My podcast and my platform is strictly for bringing justice, awareness, and understanding for women of crimes. And anybody of crimes, like anybody that's ever, any sort of crime that's ever happened, I will be covering all crimes of everything. Like, just because we finished the Epstein series doesn't mean I'm not going to continue to make podcasts and talk about true crime in a whole. Like, this is not just an Epstein podcast. This is a true crime podcast. So it's not just going to stop with the Epstein files. Like, I will continue to build my podcast around true crime as a whole. I just want to say that, yes, I did vote for Trump. And yes, I support Trump in a lot of the things that he does. I think that the way that he goes about things and kind of his morals and values makes a lot of sense to me. However, and I've said this on at least the last 2 podcasts that I've made, but I will continue to say this until it is completely not an issue anymore and not even really a topic, which we all know will probably never happen. The left side will never be satisfied with Trump being in office. We have 3 years of complete shit talking of Trump. And I get that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? I did vote for Trump. However, if there's anything incriminating tying him to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, I will not support Trump anymore. Then it's just that simple. I mean, there's no making excuses. There's no, well, there's this and that. Like, no. If there is incriminating evidence that ties Trump to Jeffrey Epstein and his crimes in any way, if he's an abuser, an accomplice, a co-conspirator, an enabler, whatever it is, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry. See ya. Like, and I can't take back my vote for him. I voted for him because of a lot of the things that he stands for and the things that he stands against. I, as a Republican woman, a conservative woman, a mother, a wife, agree with a lot of the things that he says and does. I do think that the DOJ and Pam Bondi have really failed as far as the Jeffrey Epstein files. And during the House hearing, when she wouldn't even turn around to acknowledge Epstein's victims, that bothered me. That really put a nasty taste in my mouth for her. As well as, like, every time a representative would ask her about Jeffrey Epstein, she would somehow turn it into something that had to do with ICE. And, there was a shooting of an ICE officer. And I get that. Everybody's life matters. Everybody's life matters. I don't give a shit what organization you follow, whatever. Like, everybody's life matters. And I have said it before, like, I am religious to an extent. I cuss. I smoke my vape. I'm not a perfect Christian, but I do believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I am working on my faith, but if, like, everybody is created in the image of God, and I'm not here to preach at you because that's not everybody's thing. Not everybody is a Christian. Not everybody believes in religion at all. And I respect that 100%. I just am telling you how I am as a person, and this is my podcast, so I'm allowed to say whatever the hell I want. But I think that all lives matter. Not Black Lives Matter, not whatever. Like, all lives matter. And anybody losing their life is a tragedy. And I'm talking Renee Good, Alex Peretti, like, all of that is such a tragedy. I also am a firm believer that actions have consequences. And if you're obstructing justice and you take a gun to a peaceful protest and you're not listening to law enforcement and they take you down and you try and pull your gun, like, yeah, shit's gonna get south real quick. And, that's life. You made the decisions. You made your bed, lay in it. I mean, how many people say that? You make your bed, you lay in it. But there's that. Also, I mean, when there's several federal officers telling you to get out of your vehicle and to shut your car off and you're not doing it, and then you continue to use that vehicle to hit an ICE agent, like, yeah, shit's gonna go south, okay? Actions have consequences. Do I think that either one of those two people deserve to lose their life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I think that their actions had consequences? Yeah, I do. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because it's my opinion. That's just how I feel about things. And everybody has opinions. We don't have to agree on everybody's opinions. Nobody's going to agree with everybody's opinion. We are not all going to agree, okay? That's not how it goes. Like, it's not going to work, especially in today's society. But I think we all should be respectful of everybody else's opinions. And I think that just because somebody voted for Trump does not qualify them as a pedophile. And I'm sorry, but I literally have built a platform talking about pedophiles and justice for victims. And I will continue to do so, whether it has anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein or anyone. Jeffrey Dahmer, which he had his own victims. Yes, they were male victims, but they were still victims. Ted Bundy. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, it's not, it does not matter who or what. If you were a victim, and I say this, like, just because you weren't a sexually assaulted victim of Jeffrey Epstein, but you were still sexually assaulted, like, your story matters too. And I wholeheartedly believe that file a police report, have an investigation, get them put away, and then let the other people in prison handle it, okay? We all know what that means without saying it. We don't have to say it, but that's just how I feel. So there's that. So there is a lot of allegations against me and being a pedophile. I'm not. Just because I voted for Trump does not qualify me as a pedophile, okay? I do not care who it is. If you're a pedophile, you're a fucking terrible human. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care. I'm madly in love with Elvis Presley. If I found out he was a pedophile, next. So there's that. So to get into the actual episode, and I'm sorry that took so long, I just wanted to clarify some things because transparency is the most important thing to me as far as this podcast goes. I want this to be a safe place for everybody. I want you all to know that you matter, and I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. This has been such a fun journey for me to be able to like do all my research, and I'm getting new equipment, which I'm super excited about, which is going to make the podcast so much better. So I'm super excited about that, for my equipment to come in. We're making it official. And I'm so excited. Like, I'm super proud of myself. And I'm not a very, like, pat myself on the back person. I think that that's very, like, I'm not, look at me, I'm better than you. Like, that's not me. I'm not like that. I don't like being the center of attention, usually. I just try to stay in my corner and do my thing, but I feel like there are so many true crime podcasts that are just trying to get the world to understand like what's been going on and what has literally shaped our world, like what, and generations before us and generations to come. Like, crime is never going to stop. It does not matter. There's good and evil all the time, and you see it all the time, and you can feel it too. Like, I'm not one of those people where I'm like I am, but I'm not. And this is kind of like the indigenous person of me coming out. Like, I can feel, like, if you're bad news, I feel it. Like, and actually I was just talking to my dad about this today. I met one of his old friends this summer, and I had heard a lot of different opinions about this man. And so when I met him, I was like, okay, so that's who you are. And I'm not kidding. Like, contrary to popular belief and like what everybody else felt about him, I felt so safe. Like, that, my intuition and my body was telling me this is a good person. And you can feel that. Like, you can feel when somebody's a good person, and you can feel when somebody's presence and their energy is not good. And you're like, if my gut tells me it's time to go, I don't give a shit where I'm at or what I'm doing or who I'm with. I don't care if my people are like, I'm not going. I'm still leaving. I will get an Uber and get the hell out of there. It does not matter to me. So I'm very, as far as intuition goes, I was very blessed for that. And so you can feel the good and evil in everybody. And I think that that is the most important thing, because even now, after like looking, like, I always kind of had a bad feeling about the elites and Hollywood and politicians. Like, I'm sorry, but y'all are fucking liars. All of you. Like, you all suck. You know, you have a couple good ones as far as like, but like, I'm sorry. And then you see the changes that all of the elite, especially in Hollywood, are going through, like Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, all of those, like, you can just tell their energy is so bad. And it just makes me sad that, like, you go from being this kid that, watched Selena Gomez. And yes, I'm going to say this: Selena Gomez in the Epstein files was a victim. That shit is horrendous. How do you get somebody that you watched for so many years as a child and a young teen to turn around and, like, it's so bad. It's so bad. And it just sucks that, like, you have, like, very few good role models in the entertainment industry, politics, anything elite. Like, there's really like, a bunch of kids, like, even me when I was younger, I was like, I think I would be, it'd be fun to be a politician. No, you cannot pay me enough for that now. Like, there's just not enough good in the world. And even if you stand for what you feel is right, there's always going to be somebody dogging you about something. And it's just like, this is completely pointless. Like, I feel like I'm not making a difference. And I can imagine that that's how everybody in politics feels, everybody in the entertainment industry feels. And then you have people like Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg that are, like, actually trying to expose the fucking nastiness in the entertainment industry. And it's just like, all of these people still agree with all these nasty people. I'm sorry, Beyonce and Jay-Z, you guys are fucking gross. P. Diddy, Ellen, no. You guys are fucking terrible humans, and somehow I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, listen to their music. Which, I'm going to talk about Jay-Z a little bit into this, and then the next episode, we're really going to dive into Jay-Z and Beyonce, because there's a lot to unravel there. But first, we're going to get into, because it's currently happening, we're going to talk about Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, because wowza. And also, like, viewer and listeners' discretion advised. We're going to get into some of the more disgusting things. And at the end of the video, I'm going to try and upload some images and videos for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. Because I will explain them the best that I can, but I'm also going to share the videos and the documents that I have so that you guys can see the proof, because I know that, like, all of this, or a lot of this stuff, is speculation, but when there's documents that prove it, it just says it's not really speculation anymore. But all of it's speculation. Right? Right. Okay. So, first, Bill Clinton was supposed to testify before Hillary. Didn't show up. Why? Why would Bill Clinton, if he had nothing to hide, why wouldn't you show up and testify? I mean, you guys were telling everybody, we will testify in front of the world. Like, why make it private? We'll do it publicly. We will testify in front of the public. And then you don't show up? Yeah, okay, Mr. I don't have anything to hide. You're a fucking liar. You're a liar. And then he's supposed to testify today. I have not seen how that's gone. I will look into it and we can cover it on the next episode. I have not heard anything about it yet, but I will, and we will touch base on it. But then, yesterday, Hillary Clinton testified, and what does she say? I didn't know him. I don't know Jeffrey Epstein. I never met him. So, the pictures of you guys standing on his island with all of those people, like, there's like a whole ass picture of you standing with Jeffrey Epstein. And you don't know him? That's fucking weird. Wild. And then, on top of that, Ghislaine Maxwell went to your daughter's wedding. And then on top of that, Jeffrey Epstein went to the White House 17 times when your husband was president and you don't know him? I'm sorry, but if somebody came to my house 17 times and I never met them and they were just there with my husband, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? I'd be asking some questions, right? As we should. So for me, that was like, yeah, that's fucking weird. Yeah, you're a liar. You're a liar. And this coming from the same person that mysteriously lost 30,000 emails. Girl, you ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling nobody. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer about news, but you are not fucking fooling anyone. Not anyone. So there's that. But to get into the nastiness of how terrible Hillary and Bill Clinton are, let's talk about this. So I heard this video from a victim, and it says, you want to know who the worst of the worst was? Bill Clinton. There was a actual race between him and Jeffrey Epstein to see who could be the number one abuser. What the fuck? Why? Terrible. Terrible fucking humans. Terrible fucking humans. And then, on top of that, Bill Clinton, I mean, obviously there's pictures of him on the plane with a girl sitting on his lap. Her face is redacted. How old was that girl, Bill? How old was she? Because to me, she looked maybe 16, 17. Okay? Not prepubescent for sure, but for sure in her teens. Just barely legal if legal. Okay, so there's that. Like, yeah, And then you're in a hot tub or a pool with other redacted faces with Jeffrey Epstein. But it was all charity. Boy, you lie through your fucking teeth. Like, you're so full of shit, your eyes should be brown, okay? Gross. No, you're not fooling anyone. Like, do you guys honestly think that over these 3 million fucking documents that we have, we don't see the truth? I'm just saying. So then, I'm doing my research. And of course, because of all of this, my TikTok is full of Jeffrey Epstein things. Conspiracy theories, the whole nine, right? My TikTok, all of my social media, like it's all covered in Epstein. As it should be. Continue to do that. We have got to keep talking about this. But I come across this video. And then I fact check it because I'm like, well, I hope that's not true, but I'm going to figure out for sure. And lo and behold, guess what? Hillary Clinton, there's a video of a 3, maybe 4-year-old little girl. And if you've seen this video, you know, first of all, you know where I'm going with this, but second of all, you know how fucking awful it is. Like, to see something like that. Yeah. You guys are fucking terrible humans. And I don't care how many times I say that. I don't care. I will say it till I die. Awful. But this little girl, the top layer of her face is completely gone. Hillary Clinton had put it on her face as a face mask to help rejuvenate the skin and to make her look younger, while this 3 to 4-year-old little girl is sitting there with her face completely off. The first layer of her face. And to top that whole thing off, she has bandages all down her hands, up her arms, on her legs, and she's sitting there shaking in fear. Trying to cry, but you can tell that it's so painful for her to cry that she doesn't even want to cry, but she's in so much pain that she can't not cry. And that's what you're using to become younger? It's so fucking important for you to look younger that you're willing to do something like that to a little girl? Fuck. You guys are fucking terrible humans. And then, to top it all off, there's a victim statement. This is all allegedly, of course, that talks about them being set out in the woods on the island and them being hunted by Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and several other elites. And if you're shot, you're shot. And they just leave you there. But it's a game to them. It's literally real lifetime Hunger Games. Except for it's like the Capitol people are shooting the tributes. Like, it's not tribute against the tribute. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? There's that. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, fuck, I don't know what should. And if you guys still want to support them, then teach their fucking own. But that's, yeah, fucking terrible humans. Then we're gonna talk about something I talked about in my first episode. I didn't really go into much detail about it because I was just dipping my toes in the sand at that point and trying to get a feel for how this podcast was going to go. And I'm more comfortable now, so I feel like I can talk about these things because it needs to be talked about. Like, it has to be talked about, in my opinion, because to understand the severity of everything that was going on, I just feel like it's important to talk about it. So I had mentioned Bill Gates talking about if you play their mother's voice, they suck harder. And this is the one that had me pulled over on the side of the road puking and crying. Because it was that fucking disgusting. And here goes, I guess. We're just gonna do it. So, they raped babies still attached to the umbilical cord. That's how fucking terrible these people were. And the moms were young girls. Not like, oh, I'm, of legal age. No, like 12, 13, 14-year-olds. I believe one of them was 11. Like, young girls. Had no idea what giving birth even was. There's an actual journal entry talking about how she thought that contractions was a tummy ache. She said tummy. And then it talks about her seeing a little foot and a little hand, and Ghislaine grabbed the baby. Off they go. Never saw the baby again. And then it was like, Ghislaine was like mysteriously gone. Like, yeah, they saw her every once in a while, but she was like gone. And this happened to her several times. This also talks about her having a full-blown fucking miscarriage, had no idea what was going on. The fetus came out in the toilet and she flushed it down the toilet because she had no fucking idea what it was. Raped babies while still attached to the fucking umbilical cord. Fuck you guys. Fuck that. Okay? So then, of course, it talks about babies suck harder when they hear their mother's voice. And they starved babies. To the point, and I've said this in my first episode, to the point where they would basically latch onto anything. And when they did, they would choke on the ejaculation from the men. That's what these fucking people did. That's what these fucking men did. Raped babies. Ugh. Like, I'm getting so mad I'm fucking hot. And then it talks about a dentist being on the island who knows how to pull teeth. So that when these older babies that they kidnapped had teeth, they could pull the teeth of these babies and these children. So they didn't bite. Yeah. That's the fucking shit that is in these files. And to top it all off, if you have enough patience to scroll down through all of the photos, and I recommend going to jmail.world and going onto that website and looking. It's like basically that you're in Jeffrey Epstein's email. You're like logged in as Jeffrey Epstein. And then over in the corner on the menu, it takes you to like, you have the mail, the photos, the flights, and all sorts of like the whole menu. And if you look at the photos, you have to scroll down. There's like 7,000 photos, but you have to keep scrolling. And it's like almost all the way down to the end. And there's pictures of nude women and little girls all over. And I'm not just talking about like a painting that was like on the wall of his house in Manhattan or Palm Beach or the island. I mean physical fucking pictures of teenage girls and little girls fully nude. Their faces are redacted, of course. Their body parts are redacted, of course. But it's not that fucking hard to tell how old they are, for one, that they're women, and that they're fucking nude. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no. And these are in the files. And there's still 3 million more files and photos that need to be released, and they're not going to do them. They said they're not releasing them because of what's in them. So it's worse than what we're already seeing. It's worse than babies being raped attached to the umbilical cord. It's worse than pulling kids' teeth so that they don't bite. It's worse than these fucking nudes of these kids that are already out from the first set of files that was released. It's worse than that. How the fuck does it get worse than that? Answer me that, because it shouldn't. It shouldn't get fucking worse than that. But you're telling me that they're worse? So one, you said that everything, Pam Bondi said that in the first files, well, in the first House hearing, there's nothing in the files that is incriminating. That's what she said. That's why they're not releasing them, because it doesn't get any worse. And now you have other representatives from different states coming out and saying that the emails are worse than the ones that we already have. So which is it? I'm not going to trust Pam Bondi, I can tell you that fucking much. Because she didn't even have the balls to turn around and acknowledge the fact that Jeffrey Epstein's victims were at the House hearing to begin with. So I'm going to go ahead and assume it's the fucking representatives from different states telling us that it's even worse than what we fucking thought it was. How does it get worse? What is it? I can't just fucking... It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. I don't understand it. So then I'm going to tie into, if you all have ever seen the Today Show or the news, you know that Nancy Guthrie is missing. Right? Savannah Guthrie is one of the talk show hosts on the Today Show, and she's also one of the hosts that interviewed a lot of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, including Virginia, which is, she was one of the main girls who came out about the Epstein files as a whole. So there's like, and the way that it's kind of like talked about and the way that it is explained, like, it makes sense, because you have somebody who's been tied to victims, who has taken victim statements, who has aired victim statements. I mean, they talk about the abuse, they talk about who was involved, they talk about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey and Ghislaine and all of these people. And then 2 days after the files are released, all of a sudden, her mom goes missing. And there's no tie. There's no tie. It has nothing to do with the other. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. And that just goes to show the power that these people have. And it's kind of astonishing that, like, yeah, you know, there's money at your fingertips, there's power at your fingertips, and there's resources at your fingertips, but at the same time, like, you have the nerve to do something like that. Like, the evil is just so built in and so deep within your heart and soul that it's no skin off of your nose for somebody to go missing. Because we're all disposable. I mean, we're not part of the 3,000 elite billionaires, so it's no skin off of your nose that we just, you know, it's all gone. And another thing I wanted to talk about, which I'm going to do more research on because this is the second child. The first child, if anybody has followed true crime at all or watches murder documentaries or true crime documentaries, you guys have all heard about JonBenét Ramsey, right? Did you guys know that there is a picture of Ghislaine Maxwell with her parents? Did you know that? Because there is a photo, an actual photo of Ghislaine Maxwell with JonBenét Ramsey's parents. And we don't think that's a little fucking crazy? There's nothing that ties it there either. It's just a coincidence. Yeah. There's that. And then I really got into the Diddy stuff when the documentary came out. I've always been a huge fan of Jaguar Wright. And the other day I was listening to her, and in the Epstein files, it talks about this girl and her statement. She was abducted from her house. She was drugged. And when she woke up, Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z were in bed with her. And she was naked. Yep. Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z were in bed with this girl. And I'm not talking like a woman. She was a girl. A girl. And there's so many conspiracy theories that go with, like, Jay-Z and Beyonce, as far as, like, you know, if you didn't say Beyonce's name while accepting an award, something bad would happen to you. Like Kanye West, when Taylor Swift won that award, and he came up and was like, Taylor Swift, I'll let you go in a minute, but Beyonce had the best music video of all time. And Beyonce was like, oh, I'm so shocked. I fully believe that was Kanye West saving Taylor Swift's life. 100%. And Kanye West is like, everybody, you know, thought he was crazy. Everybody thought he was nuts. You know, he had that big crash and all of this shit happened between Kanye and Kim. And then you look at, like, how North West dressed when Kanye and Kim were married, and then how she dresses now. She looks like a 21-year-old girl. She looks older than me. The hair, the piercings, the makeup, she's already getting Botox and filler and all of that stuff. Like, it all ties in. And Jay-Z and Beyonce are mentioned several times in the Epstein files. Several times. And I am going to touch base. I'm going to do, like, some serious digging into that whole thing, because there's so many theories going on about them and Epstein that I'm going to cover that in, like, an episode of itself. Like, I want to really deep dive into that. It just, like, when you think about it, you can, like, there's, like, the picture of, like, Pizzagate, Jeffrey Epstein, all of the things, and then it, like, webs out into, like, all of this shit, and it's like a big piece of paper of, like, all of this shit that ties in, and we're just, like, right here in the corner, and we're not even talking about all of this shit, right? That's how it feels. It's like, oh, Jeffrey Epstein's in the middle, and then it's like the victims. So this victim went and gave Jeffrey a massage, and then she was told to recruit these victims. So then she recruited these victims, and then these victims recruited this, you know. It's like the whole fucking thing. It's the same thing. It's like Jeffrey Epstein. Then you've got Bill Gates and Clintons and fucking Jay-Z and all of these people, and then they spiral off of that, and they spiral off of that, and they spiral off of that, and it's like, you realize it's literally fucking everybody, and anybody who's not in the fucking Epstein files, it's like few and far between. There's like hardly anybody that's not involved. You have like some of the elites, like Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, Michael Jackson, Trump, like you have some of them, but it's like all of them, pretty much all of them are all involved at some point. Ellen, and then you look at Ellen's background to her show, and then you look at the temple on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Girl, I see where you got your inspiration from. Disney, like the castle at like the older Disney movies when it comes up, and it was like the blue and white gridded castle. And then it talks about how Disney cruise ships would stop at Jeffrey Epstein's island and they would go snorkeling, and how there were like amusement days on Jeffrey Epstein's island, and that Jeffrey Epstein was a VIP ticket holder at Disney after being a convicted sex offender of a minor. It's like, what the fuck? Like, it's everything. And then to tie it all up, there's two things that tie it up. One, has everybody seen the pictures of Mom Donnie's mom standing next to Jeffrey Epstein from when he was like a baby, and then like a toddler, and then like a bigger kid? And there's like all of these conspiracies going around that Mom Donnie is Epstein's son. And you just like sit there and think about it. You're like, that's not the strangest thing that could happen. Like, shit's gotten way weirder, right? And then to tie it all in with how disgusting Bill Gates already is, his ex-wife, Melinda, comes out and does an interview about why they got divorced. And it was because of Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates' ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And Bill Gates talks about the STI that he got from Russian girls that he never told Melinda about. He was just trying to conspire with Jeffrey Epstein about how to get her on a Z-Pack, basically, to get her treated for this STI that he got from prostitutes. And we're supposed to be like, oh yeah. Not to mention all of the stuff with like the clones and everything that Bill Gates had to do with that too. Yeah. Sorry. It just doesn't make sense. So I know that we've all heard about the adrenochrome, right? And you get that from fear, which is why I think that a lot of this is, one, they're disgusting people, but two, it's how they can get themselves feeling younger. Like, Sandra Bullock went on Ellen and talked about some injections that she got, and Ellen was like, well, what was in the injection? And she like kind of lists some of the stuff off, and she goes, okay, and she goes, and skin. And Ellen was like, what do you mean? And so she goes, it's skin from a young person's genitals. We don't know where it came from. And Ellen point blank says, so it's foreskin off of a baby from Korea. And you're so desperate to look younger. One, where'd the foreskin come from? But two, you're so desperate to look younger that you're literally injecting that into your face. Now, don't get me wrong. I've got lip filler, I've got Botox, but you won't catch me dead injecting foreskin of a baby into my fucking forehead. That's fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. And then it talks about like how your body, like one of the ways like that your body keeps you young is you have an NDA or an NAD, which is like the body's, it's like one of the body's ways of keeping you young. And then as you get older, especially when you hit your 30s, it drops drastically through like your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's why you age so much after your 30s. Like from when you're born to when you're 30, like, yeah, you age and you like mature, but things don't really start hitting. Like gravity doesn't really take its toll till after 30s, right? Because that's when the NAD really starts to drop. So the NMNs that a lot of these elite people are taking boost the NAD. And the NMNs that these elite people are taking, now this is all allegedly, of course. Like Kim Kardashian talked about it a little bit, but she was super discreet. But this is all allegedly. Has to do with the adrenochrome that comes from scaring children. And then you think about the Epstein and the Selena Gomez and the Justin Bieber and Kourtney Kardashian and Kim Kardashian, and you're like, there's the web, there's a web in itself right there that nobody's talking about, but we should be. And then, so not too long ago, Kim Kardashian was on American Horror Stories. And to me, it kind of felt like one of the episodes where she's talking about that baby that they were supposed to sacrifice to her was a confession. Does that like make sense to everybody? Like with the Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber and Rain Disick, and then her, like, coincidence that that was the season that they picked Kim Kardashian to be on. Somebody who's never been an actress in her life, and then all of a sudden, I'm an actress. I'm going to be in American Horror Stories, and I'm going to be in all of these shows about, what was the one on Hulu about her being a lawyer, like all that stuff. So all of a sudden, she's now an actress, and it just so happens that her debut is American Horror Stories, talking about a sacrificial baby. Coincidences like this, where there's so many in a row, it's not a coincidence anymore. It's how it's supposed to be. I mean, it's past the point of coincidences and gone strictly into, they're throwing this shit in our face. Blink twice? Y'all ever seen Blink Twice? Watch it. Watch it. If you have not seen it, it is a... they're literally throwing this shit in our face. It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy. And like, so we have uncoded a lot of the undercover words that are in the Epstein files, like pizza. And then Chrissy Teigen talks about going and having a 4-year-old cheese pizza. Bitch, you could have just said the word, because you literally told her yourself. Because everybody fucking knows that you're not going to eat a literal 4-year-old cheese pizza. That shit's moldy as fuck. But you're gonna fucking talk about it, and you're gonna be like, I really want to watch little girls give birth. How do I do that? Do I watch it on MTV? I'm literally gonna go to jail over pizza. And there's several more. There's several more of these tweets from Chrissy Teigen. And you watch how uncomfortable she was on that. I don't even know what show it was. I didn't watch it, but I watched like part of it because of Jelly Roll's speech on it. And it was like that singing show. And I don't know what it was called. But he was talking, like the guy had sang Hard Fought Hallelujah. And of course, Jelly Roll is, like, I was hoping that I would be able to come on here at some point and like find somebody that I could use my message with, and it just happened to be you. And he starts going into about God and how God saved his life, and he's become a Christian, and all of the things about that. And you can just tell, and it says in the Bible that demons will literally tremble at the name of Jesus. So you look at that, and then you watch that, and then you see Chrissy Teigen's reaction in the background, and how she is just like, And same at the Grammys when he did the same exact thing, and she was like rolling her eyes and was super uncomfortable. And you're just like, girl, you literally are the worst of the worst. And I've thought this for years, even before the tweets, even before anything else. I was like, there's something not right about her. There's something not right about her. There's just something fucking off about her. And then I see all these tweets and I'm like, ha, gotcha. That's what it is. You're a fucking pedophile. And the interview with John Legend when they were like, what's the weirdest place that you've ever done it? And she said, oh, at the Obama thing. And she got in trouble for saying that on TV. John was like, like, you guys are throwing this shit in our face and we're just like not getting it. I don't know. It's fucking crazy to me that like we're still in this situation. It's fucking wild. There was one more thing that I wanted to talk about with Hillary. Actually, there's two more things about Hillary that I wanted to talk about because I'm kind of running out of time. But I was looking up Hillary Clinton in the Epstein files, and mind you, there's a lot of people saying that you can't find anything about her. I googled this shit yesterday and found it. And to me, coincidences in this situation, like I've said before, don't fucking work for me. They just don't. So there is an email thread to Jeffrey Epstein. Of course, the other name is redacted, naturally. And the subject of it is DNC docs. Like a DNC that you get after you have a miscarriage. DNC. And to follow the subject of this freaking thing, it says, but the only important ones would be Hillary's secret. What? 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 What is Hillary's secret and why is it tied to that? Why is that the subject of the email? And what is the fucking secret? What is it? We want to know. Tell us. The other one was another email to Jeffrey Epstein talking about trying to get a meeting set with Hillary, and the meeting had to be discreet. Talking about making a discreet meeting with Hillary Clinton. And it said all of the meetings with Hillary have to be discreet. Why? Thought she didn't know you. Thought she didn't know you. But we all know that was a lie. It says it right there. It's in the documents. Can't lie with facts. And I just want everybody to know you can't have facts without the truth, and you can't have the truth without trust. And that's just how it is. Gotta have facts, have the truth. You gotta have the truth for trust. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it goes. I'm extremely, extremely curious to see how Bill Clinton, how his deposition went today. I'm gonna jump off of here and look it up, and then I will cover it. I'll either do like a short video and just kind of break down either what was said or how it went. Maybe I'll just do that. So I'll get off of here. I'll finish my episode and then I'll jump off of here and kind of do some research into that. And then I'll just make a short on my YouTube channel talking about what Bill Clinton said to tie it in with this episode so that it's all together with one episode, one day, so that you don't have to go scrolling through all my shit to look for it. That's what I'll do. That's what I'm going to do. Just so that we're all caught up with everything Clinton so far. And there's more. I know there is. There's more. And we'll get it. We'll get it all figured out. And I don't care how long it takes. 3 arrests is not going to satisfy the people. It's not. It's not going to satisfy these people. Any of us. It's really not. So that's what I'll do. I will jump off of here. I will do some research on Bill Clinton and his deposition, and then I'll just make a short video and tie it into this because I'm sure that everyone's curious on how it went. And if you're anything like me, before I started my episode and really took the time to start doing the research about it, I just was waiting for somebody else to cover the research so I didn't have to do it myself. But now that this is like my platform and my job and this is what I do, I will be one of the people that researches things and helps you guys. So there's that. So I just want to tell you guys thank you so much for joining me on the episode today. This has been such a blast for me. I'm having so much fun. I look forward to Fridays every week to be able to do my podcast. I think I'm going to start covering other series, like other cases, and then Fridays will be my Epstein series is what I think I want to do, because I want to keep making content and keep it as consistent as I can, and I want to keep making my episodes as consistent as I can. So I think I'm going to start doing research on a different case, and I will continue to do research on the Epstein files, but Fridays will be for Epstein, and like maybe I'll do like a Tuesday or a Wednesday of every week I'll cover a different true crime case. I have kind of been going back and forth about what case I want to cover that doesn't tie into the Epstein files. And there's been a couple that I've really been thinking about. So maybe I'll do like a vote or something and see if you guys want to vote on it, or I'll do it on my Instagram or something, my threads, where you guys can vote on what case you guys want me to talk about, like what the first case outside of the Epstein files that you guys want me to cover on my podcast, which is super exciting. So I'm really excited about that. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do a vote or something. And then I will get all of the merchandise and everything ready for the giveaway, and I will post that on my social media as well so that you guys can get entered in for that giveaway, and which is also really exciting because it's my first giveaway. So one last thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you guys get updated every time I post a new episode, because I'm going to start just pumping them out. Really, I'm going to have some downtime that I'll be able to do a lot of research and a lot of things, and I will have some free time to really dig into things, and I'll just start recording episode after episode after episode of different cases, and then I can like have them all recorded in like one day or something, or have some of them recorded in one day and I can just pump them out so that we can keep things rolling and keep the cases coming, because I know that for me, like waiting a week for a podcast that I'm super interested in to come out with another episode is like, you're like, come on, this is like taking forever. So I'm going to try and not be that person and like not make you wait a week for the next episode, except for the Epstein series. Like this is like, it's really crucial because it's like a right now thing. And this is like happening in like right now, that all of the information that I cover on here is one, either covered by me saying all of this is speculation and allegations, or two, that it's facts, because I would hate for me to get started on this podcast and say something that wasn't true, that I had heard on social media or somewhere else, and it flagged me for defamation. Like I don't want to do that. I just want to expose it. That's all I'm trying to do. So I will look up some cases or do a vote or something, and we'll get it figured out as far as what we want to cover next. I'm super excited. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you get a notification every time that I come out with a new episode. And I will see you guys all next week sometime. Don't forget to vote on what case you want to do or you want me to do next. I'll come up with like maybe 3 or 4 and we'll go from there. So you all have a lovely day. I will see you guys next week.